Thanks for joining me. I'm glad you could make it to Seek and You Will Find. I'm going to start tonight with my own suggestion for a healing because I don't have, nobody has written in the chat screen yet. So I'm hoping that you guys will write your requests. I have one that's come through on my phone, but I would like to see some requests with questions that you have on the chat bar there. But before we do that, I'm getting a little tongue-tied. Before we do that, I thought of something that would be really cool to do a healing on. And I think I'm going to start out with that. And what I thought we could do is do a healing on completing the cycle of the year, because we're coming to the end of the year and it's about completing the cycle of whatever it is that you were creating this whole year. So I'm going to clean that out, the whole process of completing a full cycle. Okay, but I'm going to start with a prayer to set the energy. As we cleanse and heal the temple of the soul, may it be with the blessing of divinity that it shine its countenance upon us and bring us peace in body, mind, and spirit. Amen. All right, I'm going to start with this healing on completing a full cycle. Well, the energy that's coming out first is the energy of COVID, and kind of where that has slowed things down and made everything be like gummed up. I mean, that's the energy that I see as like gummy energy. A lot of resistance is coming out of this cycle. Like, and how I see that is like when you're in the middle of a project or something, the pictures that come up that you go into resistance to, that's what's coming out of completing your cycle right now. There are a couple of beings in the process of creating a full cycle. I'm going to take those out. There's a really beautiful yellow gold being used to clean out the whole process. And then I'm kind of looking at it in a symbol, so that helps keep it simple, just so that I'm telling you guys this in case you wanted to clean out your own process. And the way that I'm doing it is in kind of the symbol of, it almost looks like a steering wheel, because that, to me, that's the symbol of like completing a full cycle. And so along that steering wheel line, there are little bumps and blips, and that's the energy that gets in the way of you completing cycles. So that's what I'm working on right now. And then the other thing too, as I'm grounding this, completing the cycles, I'm also grounding you all to make it through into the new year. You know, there's always like a buildup of energy right to the end of the year. And that's all the pictures that we're working through to clear in order to start a brand new year. So I'm grounding everybody. I think I'm going to ground all the way through January to January 31st. And you'll be glad that I'm grounding this because here's what I saw, that on January 1st, there's an awful lot of unconscious energy because people go out and party on New Year's Eve. So when I was grounding out, there's this big old clump of white unconscious energy on January 1st. So I cleared that off for you. And it's grounded all the way now to the end of January. I think that'll help. All right, I'm going to fill you in with a gold sun. All right. Okay, I'm going to start with my first request. And this is my request for tonight's healing is, can you work on healing our immune system, please? So that I'm going to work on for everyone. The first thing that I see in the immune system is the respiratory system and some red energy in that needs to come out. And there's also a lot of energy coming out of the lungs, like grayish white energy. And there's a lot of darkness coming out, and I'm being shown that a lot of this is energy from the environment, like pollution and stuff like that, toxins. That's quite a bit of the energy that's being worked on. Now there's a bunch of like thick yellow stuff coming out, and that actually, to me, looks like it has to do with actual mucus in the body. And then there's also a healing going on to the blood cells. For the person who requested this healing, for you in particular, I believe there's an issue with your iron levels. There's some very dark, heavy energy being taken out of the immune system right now. Good. All right. Let me just start to fill this in with gold. That was a good healing and a good request. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm filling you in. Very good. Thank you for that. Okay. Hold on a second here. Okay, I have a request to check for head and neck pain. That's the next one. To the person who requested this, the energy is not flowing well down your back channels. So I'm going to work with you on that and then work on everybody else's head and neck. Well, actually, I can do this for everyone. I don't know what I'm thinking. And there's like a lot of gritty, grainy, dark, dark brown energy coming out. And where I'm working is really the back channels, like back here down to about the heart chakra. And then the other thing that's really clogged in the head are the telepathic channels, especially by the ears and the channels that go down into the neck. So I'm working on that. That actually can cause a lot of head pain if those get jammed up. Good. That's starting to release now. Oh, good. There's a very good release going on now. To the person that requested this healing, your neck pain I actually see originates down lower in your back. I'm going to work that point first. Okay, that loosened it up a little. I think that that's going to start freeing that up. But the point was down more on the right side of the center line of your back. Okay, I'm going to fill everybody's heads and necks in with gold now. Good. Okay, very good. Thank you. And okay, the next request has to do with heavy responsibility energy across the shoulders. What was that? Okay. That's a really good request because everybody's got responsibility energy on the shoulders, the back of the neck. This energy is, this responsibility energy is kind of grainy, and it's like a salt and pepper colored grainy energy. You know, to the person who requested this, there's a failure picture that you get lit up on. You asked me, the actual question was, what is under the heavy responsibility energy across the shoulders? And it has to do with a failure picture that stays lit up. And so if you're always lit up in failure, it keeps you in responsibility. So I'm going to address that failure picture in your space. And the failure picture is actually in your third chakra, not in your shoulders. So it's interesting because the picture that keeps you in responsibility isn't even close to the area where you're holding the responsibility. It's actually down in your third chakra. Good. And everybody's releasing responsibility, especially from the back of the neck, the upper shoulders. And Supreme Being is filling that space in with peace. To the person that asked for this healing, you actually had a snake holding you in that failure picture, which was keeping you in responsibility. And so I'm erasing that snake, as I'm going to erase snakes for everybody as well. Okay, good. I'm going to fill you in with gold. And thank you for that request. Excellent. Thank you very much. Okay, let me double check, see if I have any more on the phone. I'm so sorry about this, you guys. I cannot read for anything without my glasses now. May I request a healing on my employment space? Just finished my last interview with a company today. Feeling good about it, but you never know. Separated from my last company today. Okay. I have to say that your mock-up looks pretty darn good. There's a little bit of there's just like a little bit of a hazy energy in it that I want to clear for you. And I have to say that that energy is where you let yourself doubt. So put that doubt in a rose and blow it up. We want to get rid of all of that doubt out of your mock-up space. Yeah, you did a good job. I can tell that you've been putting thought into this because your mock-up is nice and full and a rich color. I'm going to help you make separations from your last business. One of the things you're getting back from your last company is your courage. That's a good one. Okay, and I'm going to ground you and your quest, for your new job. I'm going to ground that out about 2 months. Just ground you in gold. Make sure I got all of that. Okay. Okay, I'm going to fill you up with gold, and then I'm going to give everybody else a healing on their employment space. And as I do the healing on everybody's employment space, the energy that I notice the most is like the coworkers and how much they get in your space, and the people that you work with. Like the energy of office politics and gossip. And then the next thing is unreasonable requests. There's a lot of energy of unreasonable requests being taken out of your employment space. This is a good one. Your energy is being brought up to what's natural for you, and it may not necessarily be where the company energy is set. And don't forget, for those of you that work at home or on Zoom now because of COVID, you are still in the energy of your company. And that company is still being managed by whatever control beings are running the company. And the energy is still being set by someone else. So even if you're working at home, you have to be aware that the energy of your business that you work for is still coming at you and still being a part of your day, even if you're not working in the office. That's why we have tools and why we ground and put up protection roses and why you want to use all of your tools, even if you're working out of your home on Zoom or whatever because of COVID. Okay, good job. I'm going to fill you in with gold. All right, good. Thank you for that request. All right. I have another one. I've procrastinated on many areas in my life that is now catching up with me, and I'm feeling overwhelmed. Depression has become an issue. Okay, that's a good request. Thank you. So I'm going to actually kind of address it more from the depression with a little with dealing with the procrastination. And I'm going to do this for everyone. I'm going to start with the crown chakra and get the crunchies out. Got to get the brown crunchies out of the crown, because that's what happens when we get depressed. The energy in the crown chakra gets heavy and dark. And a lot of times, if you can just sit down and clean out your crown, that can lift your mood. To the person who requested this, you actually do have a couple of lumps of energy in your crown chakra that I'm going to help you clear. And when you have lumps of energy like that, it makes it really tough for you to get that crown chakra spinning again on your own. So it's no wonder that you've been experiencing depression, because that crown chakra has not been able to spin very well. I'm saying for probably like about 5 months. And there's a lot of energy coming out of the chest and the heart chakra. And what I love watching is that as soon as the dark energy is coming out, this bright yellow light is coming in. Okay, now let's take a look at the procrastination. I've procrastinated enough. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Well, there's a lot of very dark brown energy in the space of procrastinating. It's very slow moving energy. And you know what I see in that energy of procrastination is like a lot of chatter going back and forth, kind of like, what should I do? Or questioning what to do, which way to go about doing it. There's a lot of that coming out. Like the indecisiveness, the questioning of yourself and your certainty. This is kind of a little bit of a tough energy. If you'll just give me a moment. Boy, this is like a really good request, because who knew there was so much energy in procrastinating? It's very stuck energy. I want to thank you for this request. Here it goes. In order to get rid of that procrastination energy, I had to bring the whole energy up to more of a fun vibration. Procrastination is a very serious energy, and so I had to get it out of seriousness first to get rid of it. All right. I'm going to fill you in with gold. And that was a good healing for everyone. So again, thank you. I have one more real quick that I need to look up. Okay. Healing to my right hand and left butt side sciatica pain and lower back. Fell a couple weeks ago. Okay. That's a great request. Sciatica. I love that request. And I'm just going to remind all of you that when you get sciatica, you want to immediately go to your female grounding, which is the grounding cord underneath the uterus, the ovaries grounded in, and the sciatic nerves grounded in. Okay, so I'm going to give everybody a sciatic nerve healing. There's like hot pink coming out of the sciatic nerves. That's the inflammation and the pain. And you know what I notice a lot of times with sciatic nerves is that if you can just get the energy moving and keep it moving, it's when it gets clogged and blocked. So that's why, once again, that female grounding is so important, because if you get in the habit of just putting your female grounding on, it keeps those sciatic nerves grounded all the time. I'll tell you another way that you can work on sciatic pain is I start at the bottom of the foot with a gold rose, and I take the rose all the way up through the foot, the bottom of the foot, up through the ankle, and follow that sciatic nerve all the way up to the butt, and then pull the rose out so that the rose is collecting all the junky junk out of the sciatic nerve. So that's another way to clean them out besides just grounding them. And then once they're cleaned out, you want to fill them full of gold. And that's what I'm doing right now, is filling everybody's sciatic nerves up with gold. Okay. All right. Go ahead and create a gold sun above your head and fill yourself in. And I want to thank all of you for your requests tonight. I'm just going to remind you that later this week we have our Women's Intuition class, and it is on miracle energy this month. And we're going to play with our miracle energy and run it through things and clean stuff out. So that's going to be a great healing. And then I'll wrap that whole class up with a miracle healing. So it's going to be a night of miracles. And then we have a couple more healings coming up in the sanctuary. We have a Liberty healing 1 week from today. And then on the 29th, at the end of the month, is a compassion healing. So that's what's cooking in the sanctuary. And thank you for joining me tonight. I'm really glad you made it. You had great questions. Thank you very much. I've got my eyes on you. So I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you on Thursday night. Okay? All right. Good night, everyone.